Hello, this is Ethnic Green Living here, and I am excited to be here with you guys again for another video. If you're new, thank you for coming over and visiting, and if you're returning, thank you for sticking around. I love you guys. So today I am going to be talking to you about time management. It's not something that I have perfected. I'm not perfect at it. I'm not great at it. But as a working mom of 5 children and I homeschool, I think that I may be able to help with just some of the things that I've learned along the way. So I think I can offer some suggestions, even if what I do isn't perfect. I think that what I say still has value. I think it's best for me to break this up into 3 small parts rather than one big video. Because I want to make sure that you have a good foundation of understanding time management and where your time is going and just understanding it all. And then I want us to come back together once you've understood it and you've kind of done an assignment that I give you. And then I want us to build our own schedules. And then I'll show you a peek into mine. And then lastly, I want to kind of talk about self-care. So some people may feel that self-care is a little separate, but I do think that it's a part of time management, of managing your time well enough so that you can have time for your own self, right? Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So it's so important that you make time for you. This video isn't to tell you to do X, Y, Z, but to help you think about and help you with a foundation to make a schedule. And again, the videos will follow to help you out a little bit more. We all have 24 hours in a day, right? But I was starting to feel like I just can't get it all done, right? Like there was so much that I wanted to get done. There's so much on my to-do list, yet I wasn't able to get it all accomplished. I was taking my notes, had my planner, and I still was not able to get it all done. So this is kind of what helped me just kind of refocus and recenter myself, and I'm hoping that it'll help you as well. I asked myself, and I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to answer and write it down. So again, this is part of building the foundation. What do I want to accomplish? How much time can I devote to it? And how can I remember it all? So I want you to write it out, what you want to accomplish. Write it down, how much time you can devote to it. And then decide, how are you going to remember? Are you going to use a planner like I just showed you? Are you going to use a checklist? Are you going to put it in your cell phone? You have many options, but you need to pick the system that's going to work best for you. If you're not a list maker, then don't try to make a list. If you're not a techie or media savvy, then you may not want to try working it on your cell phone. But whatever works for you. Personally, I work well with lists, so I have lists everywhere. But I had to tell myself to do only what's on the list instead of timer, because otherwise I'll be like, oh, there's a butterfly. Like, oh, I want to do that, or oh, I want to go, and I'll get off track, I'll get off focus. And that's why it's important that you have a list, because if you didn't have a list, you wouldn't remember, okay, I need to be focused, I'm doing this. And so a part of time management is being focused, right? That's what I'm saying about laying that foundation. You have to know that you have to be focused, and you can't be just like, oh, like I used to be. Let's go do this and let's go do that. And I didn't do anything that I was supposed to do. I spent the entire day being busy, but was I productive? And did I get my goals accomplished? No, I just had a good time, which hurt me later on. But once you do what's on your list and once you set your timer, if there's extra time, then guess what you do? You have time that you can go and work on or finish anything that you started but didn't finish. So that you see how that works. Another tip I have is eliminate distractions. It's kind of like being focused, but a little bit different. For me, my phone is just the hardest thing to, oh my goodness. So I had to just turn it on silent or just cut it off. Otherwise, I'll be like checking my emails and checking my text messages and checking if I have any comments on YouTube, because I try to respond to every single comment, and just other things that I like to do. And if I hear little dings, I'm like, oh, what's that noise? So for me, the key is just turning it off, turning it on silent, even putting it away, putting it in a drawer, like giving myself a timeout, like I cannot touch this from this time to this time. That way I can really be focused and 100% present. One of the biggest tips that I would be able to recommend to large families, to children with the to parents with a lot of kids, big families, whether you homeschool, whether you have just like little kids, preschoolers, toddlers, whether you work at home, that doesn't matter. The tip I'm going to give you is one you probably already heard, but it's a big one in my eyes, and that is to declutter. I mean, get rid of the clutter, really. Declutter, organize, and minimize. Do you need 50 million scarves? Does your child need 50 million toys? When you get rid of the things that you don't need, one, you can appreciate what you do have, but two, you will find that you'll spend so much less time keeping that clean and keeping that organized. And that time that you spent cleaning those 50 million toys, you could have done X, Y, Z. So when you take care of that stuff, then you have more time for what you need to focus on. And then remember we talked about the extra earlier, and then with the extra, now you have time to focus on what you want to do. Do you want to exercise? Do you want to dance? Do you want to read, to write? You want to make something? You want to knit? You want to crochet? All those things that you thought that you didn't have time to do. I don't have time. Right now you can go back and rediscover your passion and your hobby, and you can get back to doing things that make you feel good, right? Because you have time now. You were able to find it and to put it into your day. And my last tip is to start the day before everyone else. Get up to fill your cup and take care of you. And I'm going to do another part on self-care and just some ideas and some tips, even on a budget and just completely free. But it's really important that you take care of you first. Again, it's so hard to give from an empty cup. I mean, have you ever tried to get honey or maple syrup or something from an empty jar? Like, it's extremely hard. And it's not that you can't get a few drops, because you can. But wouldn't it just be easier if you could just pour that honey and pour that maple syrup and it just flows like a river, right? Because it's full. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I really want us to be full. I want our cups to be full so that we can pour into others. But I'm really about being real and 100% like honest. And for someone who's in the trenches, if they do these steps, they can get out of the trenches. How do I know? Because I was that mom with clothes everywhere, kids mixing clean clothes, dirty clothes, stuff everywhere. And I've seen how when I minimize, when I've decluttered, when I have made my list and things, I can see how my life has come to this beautiful place. Not perfect, but beautiful, and like 10 times better than what it ever was before. And I contributed all to, these steps. Can you take one day to declutter your entire house, to clean your entire house? So then we're starting the schedule that we're going to implement. We're starting a schedule with a clean slate, with a clean house, with everything in order. Because even if I give you the bomb diggity bomb schedule, but you do not have your home under control, you have clutter everywhere, you've got all these million gazillion things that need to be done and put away, my schedule doesn't even matter. And it could be the best schedule ever. But if you don't have a clean foundation, it won't work. So just take a day or so to let this marinate and see how this can work for you, and then come back and join me as we make our own schedule. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, blessings.